It having reached the hour of 5:30, I am calling the January 28th, 2025 Modesto City Council meeting to order and ask the city clerk to please call the roll.
Councilmember Scutia-Brayton. Here. Councilmember Alvarez.
Here.
Councilmember Ricky.
Here. All 20 of them.
Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Here.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Wright.
Here.
And Mayor Zwallen.
Here. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation from Lance Lowell Neighborhood Church. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I do not see him here, so we will proceed without the invocation this evening. Thank you.
Okay.
Does the city clerk have any announcements?
Yes, Mayor. Just a reminder, public comment is 3 minutes. There are blue speaker cards at the entrance of the chamber. Also, please note a hearing related to the red light cameras was noticed to be heard this evening. However, it will not be heard tonight and will be brought back to the City Council at a future council date.
Thank
and then
you.
I just wanted to make a notation as requested, Mayor. We are doing our best with audio. We are having some audio issues. However, we do have wireless mics. We will speak as clearly as possible into the wireless mics, and we'll turn them on by moving the button up and then down to mute. Thank you.
Thank you. Does do any council members have any conflicts of interest? Will the city attorney please report out on closed session?
Yes, Mayor. The council held closed session related to property negotiations and existing litigation. No reportable action was taken.
All right, thank you. Next are acknowledgments and presentations. Item 1, a proclamation declaring February as National Black History Month. I will read the proclamation. Black History Month has been officially celebrated in the United States since 1976 in order to promote the cultural, economic, political, and social contributions made by our Black community to help build this great nation. And the 2025 national theme for the observance is African Americans and Labor, which recognizes the significance of the role of African Americans' work, both voluntary and involuntary, and how it has impacted the nation's economy and social justice. And the City of Modesto is committed to being an inclusive community in which all residents, past, present, and future, are respected and recognized for their contributions to our community and country. And therefore, the Modesto City Council hereby proclaims the month of February 2025 as Black History Month in the City of Modesto and urges all our residents to commit to working together toward the ideals of equality, freedom, unity, and the abundance of opportunities that our country represents, dated this 28th day of January, 2025, and signed by me, Sue Zwallen, Mayor. Accepting this proclamation will be Connie Gustafson, Vice President of the NAACP, and Renee Crawford, Community Coordinator from the NAACP. Would you like to make some remarks? Please wait till you're right up to the microphone so everyone can hear.
On behalf of the NAACP, I will accept this proclamation. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any members of the council that would like to comment at this time? All right, Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Renee, for being here to receive that. We also have in the audience the president of the King Kennedy Board of Directors, which is Deborah Sullivan, and Director Christina, who is also the state director for a state commissioner for DMV. So thank you for being here.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. I will now bring the proclamation down and present it. If there's anyone else who was invited to receive this proclamation, please join us at the podium at this time. Thank you. Tell us which camera and when. I feel like we're all looking all around.
Go here first. Go there first. All right, now you're okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Item 2 is a proclamation declaring February as National Cancer Prevention Month. I will read the proclamation. National Cancer Prevention Month was first observed in 2004 after the passage of Senate Resolution 252 in 2003. It was introduced by Senator Ernest Hollings to encourage communities across the country to take this opportunity to educate one another on the steps they can take to prevent cancer. And according to the National Institutes of Health, approximately 1.9 million people are diagnosed with cancer each year in the United States. Nearly half of those diagnoses are breast, prostate, lung, pancreas, or colon cancers. And more than 40% of all cancer diagnoses in the United States are due to preventable causes. And these causes include smoking, excess body weight, physical inactivity, and excessive exposure to the sun. This means that we can take steps towards preventing certain cancers and protecting our health. And making healthy lifestyle choices, protecting your skin from the sun, not smoking or vaping, getting vaccinated against pathogens that cause certain cancers, and annual cancer screening for the detection of some cancers can prevent the disease from reaching an advanced, potentially fatal stage. Now, therefore, I, Suze Wallen, hereby proclaim February 2025 as Cancer Awareness Month in the City of Modesto and urge every member of our community to take this opportunity to educate one another on the steps they can take to detect and prevent cancer in themselves and their families. Dated this 28th day of January, 2025. Suze Wallen, Mayor. So today, Lupe Delgado, Senior Tobacco Control Manager of the American Cancer Society, is here to accept this proclamation. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. My name is, as you said, is Lupe Delgado, and I am here today, as you mentioned, on behalf of the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. I am the project director for the Stanislaus Tobacco Prevention Action Team, and it is with honor that I accept this proclamation. I do want to share that Cancer Awareness Day is an opportunity to honor those who have been impacted by cancer, which is a serious commitment to take steps that reduce the burden of this disease. There is a long road ahead of us, but we've made great progress in the fight against cancer. According to a recent report from the American Cancer Society, the cancer death rate has dropped 34% since 1991. Thanks to less smoking, advance in treatment, and early detection for some cancers. You have a critical role to play in helping save lives here in the city of Modesto. A step in that direction is to protect our community's health from the dangers of tobacco use. In Modesto, we know firsthand that tobacco products are being illegally sold to our kids in a shameful attempt to turn them into a lifelong customer. The Stanislaus Tobacco Prevention Action Team and American Cancer Society Cancer Action Project conducted undercover purchases of tobacco products in September and October. Our young under 21 decoys were able to buy tobacco without an ID at 5% of the retailers that they visited. Sorry. Despite recent police sting operations, this highlights the need for a tobacco retail licensing program that will help hold Modesto retailers accountable for following state and local tobacco laws, including the statewide law that ended the sale of flavored tobacco products. We look forward to working with all of you to enact policy such as tobacco retail licensing programs that will protect children from the dangers of tobacco and help create a safer and healthier Modesto for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any comments from council members at this time? Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. I thank you for coming to receive this. However, my prayers go to those who lost their life to cancer, also those who are dealing with it at this time. However, I rejoice with those who actually are in remission and are doing well.
Thank you. Councilmember Bavaro, or Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for your comments, particularly about illegal tobacco products being sold. Councilman Ricky and myself had attended a briefing on smoke shops in Modesto and reviewed a lot of data that was presented to us about not only illegal sales of tobacco products to minors and flavored tobacco products, also illegal gambling and sale of cannabis and meth. And the City Council, I can assure you, is working to make a strong ordinance that will protect our community. Thank you for your comments.
Right. Thank you. Any other council members that would like to comment at this time? Seeing none, thank you for being here this evening. I will now bring the proclamation down and present it.
Hi, thank you for coming.
Where do we look first? All right.
I'm looking at the chief.
All right, next on the agenda is miscellaneous items. Item 3, consider accepting the resignation of Kyle Ford from the Housing Rehabilitation Loan Committee. Does council have any questions of staff? Seeing none, I will open this item up to the public. Any members of the public that would like to speak regarding item 3? Seeing none, Councilmember Ricky, is there anyone in the public from your location that would like to speak on this item?
There are no members of the public that want to speak on this item.
Thank you. I will close public comments. Are there any comments from council members? Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank Kyle Ford for his service.
All right, thank you very much. I have a resolution accepting the resignation of Kyle Ford from the Housing Rehabilitation Loan Committee. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Williams.
Second.
Second from Councilmember Wright. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Scutia Brayton. Aye. Councilmember Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwellen.
Aye. Next
Motion
is
carries.
item, excuse me?
I'm sorry. Motion carries.
Okay, motion carries. Sorry for not saying that. And thank you for having it in my notes. I apologize for missing that. Consider approving the appointment of David Harris and Larry Sanders to the City of Modesto Citizens Housing and Community Development Committee with terms expiring December 31st, 2028. Council members have questions from staff? Seeing none, I'll open item 4 up to the public. Any members of the public that would like to come forward on this item? Seeing none, Councilmember Ricky, is there anyone in your location from the public that would like to speak on this item?
There are no members of the public that want to speak on this item here.
Thank you. I will close public comments. Any comments from council members? Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank David Harris and Larry Sanders for their willingness to serve on this committee.
All right, thank you. There's a resolution approving the appointment of David Harris and Larry Sanders to the City of Modesto Citizens Housing and Community Development Committee with terms expiring December 31st, 2028. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Scutia Brayton.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Williams. Will the clerk please call the roll for this item?
Councilmember Scutia Brayton.
Aye.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwellen.
Aye. The motion carries unanimously. Next, item 5, consider approving the appointment of Margie Johnson as the Citizens Housing and Community Development Committee representative to the Housing Rehabilitation Loan Committee with a term of expiration December 31st, 2025. Any questions from council members? Seeing none, I'll open this item up to the public. Any members of the public that would like to speak on item 5? Seeing none, Councilmember Ricky, is there anyone in your location that would like to speak?
None at this location.
Thank you. I will close public comments. Any comments from council members? Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank Margie Johnson for her willingness to serve on this committee.
Thank you. I have a resolution approving the appointment of Margie Johnson to the Housing Rehabilitation Loan Committee as a Citizens Housing and Community Development Representative for 2025 with the term expiration of December 31st, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Motion by Councilmember Wright.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Alvarez. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Scutia Brayton.
Aye.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwellen.
Aye. Carries unanimously. Item 6, consider approving the appointment of Emmanuel Becerra and Jim Bishop as City of Modesto representatives to the Tuolumne River Regional Park Citizens Advisory Committee through December 31st, 2028. Does council have any questions of staff regarding item 6? Seeing none, I will open this up to the public. Any members of the public that would like to come forward regarding this item? Seeing none, Councilmember Ricky, is there anyone in your location?
Not at this location.
All right, thank you. I will close public comments and ask council members for further comments. The comment that I will make is I'm extremely grateful for every one of the people that step up to serve in these positions. Your time and effort is so appreciated. Thank you so much. Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. I also agree with those sentiments. As the chairperson for the Appointments Committee, I know that it's a lot of time and effort in filling out the applications and going to some of the interviews. We thank you for your time, your effort, and we congratulate you.
Thank you. I have a resolution approving the appointment of Emmanuel Becerra and Jim Bishop as City of Modesto representatives to the Tuolumne River Regional Park Citizens Advisory Committee. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
A motion by Councilmember Williams and a second by Councilmember Alvarez. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Scudilla-Brayton.
Aye.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwollen.
Aye. Carries unanimously. Next on the agenda is public comment. As noted on the agenda, public comment will only be in person. Zoom will still be available for viewing and wordly translation. Thank you all for being here tonight. The City of Modesto Council meetings are a place where everyone is encouraged to listen, share views, and participate in the decision-making process that benefits our community. Your engagement is valuable, and it helps our council and city staff collaborate on finding solutions that enhance the quality of life for the residents of Modesto. To be fair and equitable, every individual has the right to speak at this council meeting. However, it is imperative that we foster and maintain a respectful environment for the well-being and safety for everyone present at these proceedings. It is the mayor's responsibility to preserve strict order and decorum at all council meetings. Pursuant to the Charter of the City of Modesto, Article 6, the Mayor, Section 601, Powers and Duties of Mayor. The mayor shall have authority to preserve order at all council meetings and to remove or cause the removal of any person from any meeting of the council for disorderly conduct, to enforce the rules of the council, and to determine the order of business under the rules of the council. Accordingly, the city council meeting decorum rules are as follows. Please be respectful of all presenters, council members, staff, and members of the public. Please refrain from clapping other than following a presentation. All speakers are encouraged to state their name and city of residence. All questions must be directed to the mayor. Please do not block the view of others by holding signs up during council meetings. Time limits for public comment is 3 minutes, but may be limited at the discretion of the mayor to manage the business of the council. Speaking over others or interrupting while others have the floor is not permitted. Cell phones should be turned off or shall be set to vibrate during meetings. Thank you for your patience and participation as we work together to address the issues impacting the community. Maintaining order and decorum during the city council meeting is crucial in the effective governance of Modesto and ensuring the council's decisions are reflective of the community's priorities. Anyone disrupting the council meeting may be asked to leave. Does anyone wish to speak on any item under public comment? This is for items not on the council agenda, and each person has 3 minutes to speak. Anyone wishing to address the city council is asked to follow the rules of decorum. The rules of decorum are posted at the entrance of the chambers. I have several blue cards here, and I will call the names in the order that they were received. And the first is Nancy Robinson.
Good evening, Mayor Zwollen and our City Council. Thank you for allowing me to come and speak tonight. My name is Nancy Robinson. I live in Modesto, and I'm a president of the Modesto Garden Club. I'm here tonight to let you know about a special event we have coming up March 7th, Friday. Friday, March 7th is Arbor Day. That morning at 10 o'clock at Ensland Park in downtown Modesto, we will be having an Arbor Day celebration. Arbor Day is a day to celebrate the planting of trees and is done throughout the United States. Arbor Day commemorates the planting, upkeep, and preservation of trees. It is a day to reflect on the importance of trees across our city, state, and nation. It is said that one tree can remove up to 6.2 tons of carbon dioxide each year and puts out 4 tons of oxygen, which is enough to meet the annual needs for 18 people. The City of Modesto will be selecting the exact location in Ensland Park for us to plant a valley oak tree. This is a large, deciduous oak tree native to California's interior valley and known as California's mightiest oak, which is the best for shading big outdoor areas. It is crucial to a thriving ecosystem. It provides food and shelter to a large number of animals. It is especially valuable as the host plant to hundreds of species of butterflies and moths, whose caterpillars help feed many of our local birds. Councilmember Jeremiah Williams will be presenting a proclamation from the city, and we look forward to your participation in our ceremony. We will also be partnering with the Modesto Urban Forest Group here in Modesto. This tree will be planted in memory of a previous member of the Modesto Garden Club, and today I'm here as president of the Modesto Garden Club to encourage many people as possible to attend our Arbor Day celebration to show support for Arbor Day and the importance of native trees being planted here in Modesto. And I encourage anyone that's watching the presentation to come to our celebration. I also want to mention that our annual Spring Garden Tour will be held on Saturday, April 12th, and will feature 4 lovely, unique homes and our Modesto Garden Club office, where attendees may purchase tickets for our fabulous Opportunity prices, and special refreshments will be served. This is our largest fundraiser for the year, so that it may provide $9,000 in scholarships to students who are studying horticulture, agriculture, and other related fields. Tickets for the tour may be purchased as we get closer to the date at the number of local businesses, as well as the Garden Club office and on our website. We hope to see you there on Arbor Day, celebrated March 7th. Thank you for your attention this evening.
Thank you. Next, Rhonda Allen.
Good evening, Mayor and City Councilman. My name is Rhonda Allen. I'm a resident of Modesto, and I'm here to follow up what Nancy said about trees. My goal tonight is to first of all acknowledge the Modesto Garden Club for the work they're doing to plant a tree of substance in our community, a valley oak tree, which is the ideal tree for Modesto because of its value for wildlife and our environment. And I just really appreciate that they are making an effort to plant this kind of tree instead of an ornamental tree. Native oaks are the key to a healthy ecosystem here. I'm sure many of you know that these were the trees that were here before people settled, and the trees that Native Americans used to gather acorns from and survive off of. Nancy shared a lot of great facts about valley oak trees, and they're all very important. The CO2 is really important. It made me think about the comments earlier about cancer awareness and the stuff that we breathe in that's so unhealthy. And trees do a lot to help us with our health. They also are, through research, it shows they help reduce heart disease, many other illnesses, and of course keep us healthy in so many ways. So we need to plant more trees, and especially native trees. A lot of people don't realize that native trees are the ones that our local wildlife are adapted to. They need the food and shelter that those trees provide. So every time we can, we should try to plant natives. There is a group of Modesto residents, and myself is one of them, who have formed an urban tree committee to support the planting of ecologically friendly trees to help sustain our urban forests. So we have formed a group, and we hope to support our urban forestry department by improving the health of our city trees with the aid of the city. We also hope to better inform our community members about the importance of trees and how we can all work together to be good stewards of our environment. With all the work the city staff does, they're too busy to think about what the needs of birds and insects are. And that's why the Modesto Garden Club and myself are here, because we are going to speak for them. the animals need us to help provide habitat for them. So we hope that you will be a part of that process. The Modesto Garden Club is doing good work, and I hope you will support them on Arbor Day. I sure will. And we want to also appreciate what they're doing to help our urbanized environment with their plantings. And we hope that you will value the important roles that trees have in our community, and we appreciate all the support you have for these efforts. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next is Dean Richardson.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Dean Richardson. I live on Insulin Avenue here in Modesto. Recently, I've been meeting with a group of resident tree advocates known as Urban Forest Modesto. I'm pleased to be here tonight in support of Nancy Robinson and the Modesto Garden Club and their Arbor Day celebration. Thanks to Measure H, the police department and fire departments now function appropriately. Likewise, the forestry department, forestry division of Public Works has been reborn with money from Measure H and a new forestry manager. The forestry department has been reborn. Thanks to you all for that. I want to encourage each of you to attend the Garden Club's Arbor Day event. Again, that's on Friday, March 7th at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. In Islam Park. If we're fortunate, it will be raining. Please bring an umbrella and come to celebrate trees, our community, and the success of Measure H. Okay. Then, one hot August afternoon, when you're driving around looking for a shady parking spot, or you're looking for some shade from the blistering heat, you can think back to a winter day when residents gathered to plant a tree. So, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, next is Diane.
Greetings, Diane Cruzy from Modesto. You know me, and I'm just calling. I'm coming here now because I have a little time now. The election's over with. The homeless are ignored by you folks who have most of the power to help. The people, the homeless, are being chased by even horses as if being herded by as cattle. In some cases, they are rousted from any place they try to sleep. You voted against monitored safe sleeping 4-3 a while back. You don't seem to have any inclination to fix even the slightest basic options for them to sleep without interruption. They fear known predators. Now worse is the treatment of county and city police since the Supreme Court edict allowing a free-for-all, they are more so. Who knows, maybe ICE will be involved as they are rounding up people who look the least bit suspicious, profiling per the president's whim. All I'm asking you is to identify patches of ground in the city, free for sleepers. They don't have to be large, just 10 or 15 or less people spots to sleep harassment-free. Each different sleeper spots would be patrolled on the outside of sleepers, periodically by the police to cut down on all the other predators active. They won't go into any area unless helping sleepers or maybe putting out a fire. There shouldn't be any reason for fearing liability because all you're going to do is furnish a patch of ground with maybe a porta potty and a trash can. Nothing but that. No fires allowed, and police could enforce that. They will have to leave by mid-morning with all of their home stuff and not return until dusk. Right now there are car stickers that say abuse an animal and go to jail. Now the only changes are the words animals to homeless and they go to jail because that's what's happening. Is this so hard to do? Humanity requires you to do this and ideology should go begging. Are you waiting for them to beg the people? You should be happy that the federal ICE people are not handling this, because right now they're paying $800,000 for each military cargo plane that they're carrying deported people to other countries. Maybe only 80 in a great big huge ton. And if they had used normal ways, it would only have been $100,000. For a normal plane would be a lot cheaper. And on here, the last thing here, but not least, I'm sorry for the police. The president pardoned some January 6 violent people that personally beat, maimed, and caused death to police doing their job. That gives them permission to attack again. These are lawbreakers and made your job harder. I'm talking about the police. The description of the rule has been increased. They're free to repeat with a get out of jail free from the president. I hope your officers and the county will protect all people that ICE is after, if not true convicted criminals. Innocent people crossing our border is only a misdemeanor, sort of like running a red light. And that's not much, is it, guys? Thank you very much for listening, and stay safe.
You're welcome. Next is Steve Horn.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council members. I'm here to talk to you about your ordinances and your regulations for licensing non-emergency medical transportation, specifically wheelchair van and gurney van transportation, not ambulance. I'm interested in opening up services here in San Joaquin County, or actually we're in Stanislaus County, excuse me, but both counties. And your ordinance does not comply with the current California law. There's a duplication of a lot of things that you guys are doing. And with Mr. Sanchez, the city attorney sitting there, the law that I'm talking about is Welfare and Institution Code 14136. And it specifically states in there about that the cities or counties can create ordinances that do regulate that, but they are certain requirements that need to be met, and you guys are way out of compliance with those requirements. So what I'd like to do is perhaps get it on a future agenda item, or maybe meet with the city attorney at a later date so that we could discuss this. A few years ago, I worked with transportation providers that were already providing service in Stanislaus and in San Joaquin County, and there was an old ordinance from back in the late 70s that anybody that required gurney transportation had to be provided by an ambulance. And I think that a lot of these ordinances came to being in the late 70s and early 80s when non-emergency medical transportation first got started, and that there was a lot of concern from ambulance companies, and that they created all types of these networks all throughout the state on different ordinances that made absolutely no sense, especially in today's world. And right now, Health Plan of San Joaquin is having issues. There's Medi-Cal beneficiaries that are not receiving the transportation that they're entitled to because they can't get enough providers in the area. And as I'm interested in opening up down here, with your current regulations, the only way that I would do it is I would have to exclude the City of Modesto because of the regulations and ordinance that you guys have in place to license and regulate non-emergency medical transportation companies. That's all I got.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So that we can contact you, I see.
Yeah, I put my cell number on there.
Sure, I got that, but one number I'm not sure about, so I'm wondering if you would give Allison.
Yeah, I can give her my email address also.
And reiterate the phone number also, just so that we get it.
Right.
No worries.
I type better than I write.
That's all right. No worries. All right, next is Carol DeVicki.
I'm going to have Margie start out ahead of me, please, to kind of set the stage, if that's okay.
Well, I need to stick to the order.
Okay.
This is,
That's fine.
yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Welcome, Mayor and Assistant Mayor. My name is Carol DeVicki, and I'm president of the McHenry Mansion Foundation Board. I'm also president of the McHenry Mansion Docents, and I'm in Vista Barbero's district. I'm here as a representative, as a former member of the McHenry Museum Historical Society. I I resigned several years ago because I was disenchanted with the way that the society as a nonprofit was working. So just this last October, I went to one of their historical meetings because I finally had gotten minutes that we hadn't gotten minutes in years that I'd asked for. Finally got a financial report that we'd asked for years. And on the financial report that we got from the Historical Society, we found that the educational director, David Seymour, is being paid $68,000 a year for his services, which on his job descriptions, the number one priority is raising funds to enhance the museum, which he has not had one fundraiser in 3 years. So I went to a historical meeting with Margie Nieder and Sandy Nerland, and we asked questions about this and said that they have over $300,000 that was given to them as a beneficiary inheritance, and they're using this money just for his salary. So we question about the value of his employment since he's not making any money, raising any funds for the museum. And this is a certified letter that Margie, myself, and Sandy got. Dear Carol DeVicki, thank you for your expressed interest in joining the Board of Directors of the McHenry Museum and Historical Society. However, the Executive Committee of the Society has declined to move forward with your appointment. In addition, records of this date of this letter shows that you are not a member of the Society and thereby ineligible to join the Board of Directors. As a point of interest, I have my flimsy from my check that I wrote to the museum for my membership. It was never cashed. Furthermore, it has been a matter of some concern to members of the Executive Committee that your behavior and intervention at several meetings of the Board of Directors has been deemed as disruptive. Though we appreciate your interest in participation in the Society, it is a unanimous wish of the Executive Committee that you no longer attend any meetings or events of the Society, lest further action be taken. So that was an answer to our questions about the financial situation that is going on with the McHenry Mansion Historical Society. And thank you for your time. I just thought I should bring this to your attention since I'm very involved with the mansion and we function beautifully as a nonprofit. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next is Sandy Nerland.
Good evening, Mayor and associates. I am also a member of the museum. I'm a member of the society, and I'm an active docent. And I went online to the Attorney General's website featuring charities, and I looked up the registration details for those registered as a charitable nonprofit organization. And the McHenry Museum has not renewed that commitment for at least 4 years. So they are considered not a nonprofit, and they have been operating these past years without renewing their California registration as a nonprofit. Therefore, they should not be operating in a public building as a group for raising money for their events. Now, their first event or attempt to raise money was gendered from the members of the community. And that money that they're giving, they look at as a gift to the museum, not the society. We are not the holder, we're the holder of the money, but we put it back into the museum. So therefore, any money that came in never reached the museum, actually. It was used for the publishing of a book that David wrote for a children's book about the museum. So we are very concerned about the fact that the museum society is not functioning as it should, nor should it function at all at this point. Until they renew all of their past registrations and pay the fines and go through a certain amount of paperwork, they cannot function as a nonprofit. So I think that's very important for us to step forward, because they're trying to shackle the three of us who are very intent on seeing that we're fiscally responsible, on top of the fact that we should be raising the money for the museum. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Next is Margie Nieder.
Hi, I'm Margie Nieder. They've said it all.
All right. Thank you. All right. Are there any, is anyone else wishing to come forward to speak under public comment?
Hi, Kevin McClarty here. I really want to commend you, Mayor, for this new format you have. I think it's awesome. It's just absolutely awesome. Having one of the members of the council remotely monitoring the Zoom meeting so that Zoom members can participate remotely. That is fantastic, and I want to thank Councilmember Ricky for co-hosting it. I think that is just awesome. And so whoever thought of that, I really want to thank you for thinking of it. And the other thing, I'm sad that the ladies from the garden club left, because I wanted to respond to something that they said with respect to the planting of the oak tree. You know, there's a myth here that I'm always hearing in Modesto, that Modesto was a desert before we had irrigation, and that's actually not true. Modesto was a riparian woodland, which means that it had interspersed oak trees along the riverbed, and they were these kind of oak trees that these ladies are going to be planting. And we were not a desert. We had water. We had roughly 14 inches of rain per year. And so we did not qualify as a desert. To qualify as a desert, I think it has to be 4 inches of rain or less per year. But speaking of water, the thing that I want to impress upon you today is that President Trump has made a directive that he is not going to provide any FEMA money or any federal aid money assistance to California for the fires until Governor Newsom releases all of the water statewide. I guess it was from north to south, opens up all the tributaries and sends all the water down south. And unless he also has voter ID. Well, I won't talk about the voter ID issue, but with respect to the water, the one thing that I want to impress upon you is that this part of California has always been very responsible with its water. You know, we have the New Melones Dam. Before that, we had the Don Pedro Dam. We had the San Luis Reservoir. We have always taken steps here to protect our water. And we need to remember that. I don't think that we should just give our water away. No matter whether we're being threatened, no matter what is happening, we should not just give our water away. We need to think about our heritage and where the water came from. And we need to think about the agrarian needs of this part of California. We need to think about the fact that we feed the rest of the nation, and we need to protect our water. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else that would like to speak under public comment for items not on the agenda?
Mayor, City Council, last week I attended a really interesting meeting at the Greens on 10th Street Tuesday night, and it was about the will soon be former county courthouse. And it's about the new development or suggestions from the community, what they would like to be seen done. And I thought it was real interesting. A lot of people had a pretty consensus or same input what they would like to see. And I'd just like to put that input out there publicly. And what the consensus was, they would like to see some upscale apartments built, but like a 3 or 4 story type of apartments, but on the lower end of it, they would like to see some shops, but not just ordinary shops. They would like to see things like a tasting room for like wine tasting to represent the wine industry here in Modesto. They would like to see a little grocery store of some kind to represent the different produce that the valley sell or grows, and the nuts and the agriculture to represent, because we have Gallo, the theater, next door. So they look at most of the people that came, they see that as an opportunity to represent what Modesto and the valley is about, mostly here in Stanislaus County, because we have people that travel from far. Because I know personally, when I've gone to the Gallo, I've talked to people from Bakersfield that have just traveled here to see an act. I've talked to people from San Francisco. So they look at that as an opportunity. When people come here, they're spending the day here. So when they go across the street, they might see and check things out at that little place. Other people, which I thought was a great idea, they wanted to see some outdoor activities. And I brought up about the roller skating rink. And a lot of people thought that was a good idea, because they were like, that was a great opportunity to bring the families together in downtown Modesto to have a roller skating rink, because they could bring the families together with their kids. Some kind of activities like that. So hopefully these inputs that everybody brought together for Modesto, maybe if the city considers all those different inputs, that it'll be a benefit for everybody together. There was other things that they had concerns about, and there were valid reasons. But they also did say that they were very impressed with the program that the city has with the street program for keeping the streets clean, and they were very positive about that. So, and from what I remember, that's involving people that's going through the homeless program, and they're the ones out there help keeping those streets clean. So that's another part that needs to be educated with the public about too, so they understand that, yeah, there is a homeless problem going on, but some of these people are out there helping the streets keep them clean. So thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else here that would like to speak regarding any public comment regarding items not on the agenda? All right.
Hi, good evening. This is my first time speaking here, so Mayor, City Council. My name is Amanda Beulah. I live in Modesto. My topic is Orchard Elementary School. My topic is basically just the lack of signs, the lack of attention, student safety. I noticed a problem a couple years back when I first started taking my kids to school. They've been going there for about 4 years now. I live very close to the school, so much that I can see it. I see people drive through the crosswalks every single day while children are in the crosswalks. I see them intimidating the children. I've almost personally been hit. My children have almost been hit. I started at the school, spoke with Mrs. Hollander, who is the principal. She informed me that no crossing guards, no parents can really be out there. Excuse me, before I spoke to her, I actually stood on the corner with signs that said, watch out for kids. And I got a lot of responses from people. People said, thank you. I got some not so nice responses as well. Not a problem. Went to the principal, spoke with them. They said no crossing guards, liability, drivers harass the students. Okay, no problem. She directed me to Modesto PD. I said, okay. Called them, asked about them coming out. They said they'll be out there, we'll put you on our frequent list. Didn't see anybody for a while. I have contacted your engineering department. I spoke with an Able. He told me too many signs are a distraction. Later, I spoke with Ryan, nice guy, very helpful. Although it's been a long time, I have not heard back from them. I started this in 2003. A whole year, 2024, or nothing has happened. There's no signs, there's no flashing. I have run across an officer who did come out. I did politely speak with him, however, when he came, it was already when all the kids are in school. When I spoke with him, he informed me that sometimes me having conversations with them can distract them from seeing what they need to do. That kind of told me that maybe I just shouldn't say anything at all. I contacted the, the arbor, or like the, tree portion of it to get the signs cleared out. I literally watched them cut a hole in a tree and then drive off to just show the stop sign and not the school sign that's on Bailey Drive. So I'm here as a last resort. I believe our students need attention. I think their school safety, I think them going to school requires your guys' attention. I don't understand why Orchard is getting missed. I saw new flashing signs in front of the STEM one over on Floyd or Rumble, and I saw new flashing ones over at Freedom Elementary, but none at our school. So I'm just here just to ask you guys if you can bring some attention to it. Please drive down Oakdale Road to Merle and just drive by Orchard and just see if you think that there's enough signs to let people know parents are trying to drop their kids off. They need to be able to do it safely. So I'm just coming here to ask you to bring your attention to it. So thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Would you please give your contact information?
Absolutely.
Also to Allison so we can
Allison?
follow up. All right. Is there anyone else here that would like to talk regarding items that are not on the agenda for public comment? Seeing none, is there anyone, Councilmember Ricky, who would like to come forward to speak in your location?
Not at this location.
All right, thank you. Next on the agenda is consent items. An item may be removed from consent and discussed at the request of a member of the public or council member. Is there anyone on the council that would like a consent item removed for further discussion? Seeing none, is there anyone in the public that would like an item removed from consent for further discussion or comment? All right, please step forward and let us know which item.
I think it's item 15. It's something about the King Kennedy, don't bite me, the King Kennedy Center month to month.
All right.
There's no details on that.
Okay.
And it doesn't
We
say
will-
what it is replacing.
All right, we
So
will
I
pull
think
that
it's-
item and discuss it separately tonight.
And I hope you add the detail of what is it replacing. Yeah, it's kind of it's hidden there. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Stay tuned. Councilmember Ricky, is there anyone in your location that would like an item removed from consent?
Not at this location, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Will the city clerk please read the consent items?
Item 7, consider approving the minutes for the January 14th, 2025 council meeting. Item 8, consider approving final adoption of ordinance 3789 CS, amending section 3-2.1401.1 of Article 14 of Chapter 2 of Title 3 of the Modesto Municipal Code relating to speed limits. Item 9, consider approving the First Amendment to the Consultant Services Agreement with De Novo Planning Group for specific plan services, increasing the agreement amount by $400,000. Item 10, consider approving the Second Amendment to the Consultant Services Agreement with De Novo Planning Group for environmental planning services, increasing the agreement amount by $1,200,000. Item 11, consider approving.
That's all right, continue.
Go ahead, Mayor. Did you?
Yeah, I'm fine, continue.
Okay. Item 11, consider approving a First Amendment to the agreement with Stanislaus County Affordable Housing Corporation, Modesto, California, for master development services for bridge housing projects, increasing the agreement amount by $625,000 to a new total amount of $700,000. Item 12, consider approving a resolution of intention to form City of Modesto Community Facilities District CFD number 2025-1, Kiernan Business Park South number 2, and replacing City of Modesto CFD District number 2012-1, Kiernan Business Park South. Item 13, consider accepting the monthly investment report for November 2024. Item 14, consider accepting an informational report for the November 2024 Accounts Payable Payment Register and Void Report. Item 15 was removed from consent. Item 16, consider approving the plans and specs for the Bret Hart Neighborhood Straighten and Replace Water Mains Phase 1B project, accepting the bid and awarding a construction contract to Mid-Cal Pipeline and Utilities Incorporated out of Merced in the amount of $1,731,361, authorizing 15% in contingency if needed for a total amount not to exceed $1,991,075, and approving an agreement with Siegfried Engineering of Modesto, California for engineering support during construction in the amount of $29,800 plus $2,980 in additional services if needed for a total amount not to exceed $32,780. Item 17, consider approving an amended and restated memorandum of agreement with Stanislaus County for the West Modesto Sewer Infrastructure Project, Spencer Marshall Neighborhood, County Area 7. Item 18, consider approving an amended and restated memorandum of agreement with Stanislaus County for the West Modesto Sewer Infrastructure Project, Rouse, Colorado Neighborhood, County Area 9.
All right, may I have a motion for the consent calendar?
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilmember Wright, second by Councilmember Scudia Brayton, and will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Scudia Brayton.
Aye.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwollen.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. So now we will go back to consent item 15, since that was pulled by a member of the public. Consider approving the third amendment to the agreement for the operation of the King Kennedy Memorial Center with the West Modesto Community Collaborative to amend the agreement to a month-to-month basis until July 1st, 2025. So we will now have a staff report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Jeremy Rogers. I'm your Parks, Recreation, and Neighborhoods Director. So this item, number 15, is an additional amendment to the contract with the West Modesto Community Collaborative. We contract with them to run the operations of the King Kennedy Memorial Center. And the reason for this amendment is because their contract had already expired, and since we anticipate going to construction of that park in July, this will take us up until that point. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you guys have.
All right, thank you. Any questions from council members regarding item 15? Seeing none, I'll open this item up to the public. Are there any members of the public that would like to come forward on this item? Councilmember Ricky, is there anyone at your location?
Not at my location.
All right, thank you. I will close public comments. Any comments from council members? Thank you. I have a resolution approving the third amendment to the agreement for the operation of the King Kennedy Memorial Center with the West Modesto Community Collaborative to amend the agreement to a month-to-month basis until July 1st, 2025, and authorizing the city manager or his designee to execute the amendment. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Councilmember Wright. Second by Councilmember Alvarez. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Scudia Brayton.
Aye.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwollen.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next on the agenda is council comments and reports. Do any of the council members have any comments and reports? Councilmember Scudia Brayton.
Thank you, Mayor. As I'm certain we all agree, the results of the Southern California fires have been absolutely devastating to everyone, especially those directly impacted by the fires. But the one thing that I'm so proud of is our fire department. Our fire department, along with other municipalities, stepped up to help those in need when the need was there. As I understand, our fire department stepped up by sending several pieces of fire equipment and personnel that included, but were not limited to, one brush rig with personnel as well, one overhead team with personnel as well, one hazmat OES team with personnel as well. Again, and it did not just limit that, but their contribution made a big difference. It represented our city, and it helped our counterparts in Southern California. So I'd like to thank our men and women of the fire department for doing that and putting their life at peril to help others. Thank you very, very much. Also, this past Saturday, I had the privilege of attending a Blue Mass that was put together by the St. Joseph's Catholic Church, and the purpose of the Mass was to pray together with and for our fire, our law enforcement, and our emergency medical services, first responders of Stanislaus County. And it was a lovely Mass that really just gathered us all and really made us feel like one large first responder family that really just helps our community. This mass was really well attended, and the Father Sam blessed the cars, and afterwards had a reception hosted by the Knights of Columbus and fed all participants. So it was a lovely mass. Councilmember Jeremiah Williams and I, and as well as not deputy, but Vice Mayor Bavaro attended, and it was a lovely day. So again, I just wanted to thank our first responders for their involvement in our community and their constant support. Thank you.
All right. Councilmember Ricky.
Thanks, Mayor. I want to thank everyone that attended the city's public meeting to gain input on the future of our old courthouse block. The group of residents that gathered generally agreed on the overall vision for the property. So mixed-use development that includes retail, residential units, space for the arts, and space that highlights Modesto's, agricultural heritage like produce, fresh meats, wine, and artisan markets. So it's a really exciting time for downtown Modesto. It's also come to my attention that the Trump administration has paused federal reimbursements, delaying about 20% of Stanislaus Regional Transit's funding. And while recent court rulings and reserves are going to sustain bus service for now, prolonged delays could reduce routes and disrupt transport for residents of Modesto and the rest of Stanislaus County. Finally, I want to acknowledge the interest the community has in bringing air service back to Modesto. Stockton has commercial air service. Even Merced, a city with a fraction of our population, has commercial air service. And it's time for Modesto to step up and serve its residents. A commercial airport acts as an economic engine that stimulates business, tourism, job creation, and infrastructure development while increasing tax revenue for our community. Modesto is looking for us to deliver. Thanks, Mayor.
You're welcome. Next, Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. I also share the sentiments of the travesty and the calamity that is taking place in Los Angeles, California, and I'm very thankful that Stanislaus County, particularly our firefighters, had the opportunity to go and help that cause. My prayer is definitely with those who lost everything and those who are trying to rebuild their lives. Last weekend, it was Martin Luther King celebrations, and we were very happy to have all of the citizens that were able to participate in the march and as well as the commemorative service, which it was great to have Mayor Susan Wallen as well as David Wright, Councilmember Wright, there at the church on 2nd Street. And then, of course, we proceeded to go to the march, which started at 1 o'clock. And, of course, we were accompanied by Vice Mayor Bavaro, who actually went to both events in the evening and shared some words about that event with them at the dinner. Also, I definitely was at the workshop the other day, and it was good to see people out and talking about what they would like to see and love to see in the city of Modesto. And it wasn't about who was right or who was wrong. It was the opportunity of being able to voice your opinion on what is the next steps for that particular area. Lastly, Mayor, I do want to also say that it was great to be at the Blue Mass with my colleague, and it was a record attendance by our Modesto police officers, and I think there were 26 of them, if I'm not mistaken, and the city was still safe. It was just a little while. However, it was good to have them there. And one more thing, Mayor, on the 19th of January, good friend of mine who is a Kiwanian had a momentous birthday. He turned 101 years old. 101 years old. His name is Hal Conkey, a very dedicated individual to this community. And we asked him, what is your wish, Hal? And Hal says, I want to live 5 more years to see who the next president is. That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. My report is I was honored to participate, as was mentioned in the Martin Luther King celebration at Christian Love Baptist Church. It's really uplifting, and I enjoy being there, and I'm so grateful that they provided that opportunity on January 20th. Yesterday, I was invited to speak at a homeless conference with the Stanislaus County Office of Education, particularly related to homeless youth. And it was inspiring to be with those in the room that are like-minded, that our children need to feel safe and protected at their most vulnerable times, and it's up to us as adults to assure that that happens. Next on the agenda is if the city manager has any comments and reports.
Just really briefly, Mayor, am I on? As Councilmember Ricky had stated, the news that came down today about federal funds, the city is recipient of various sources of federal funds. We are currently evaluating what impact that may have on the services that we deliver to the community. Hopefully we'll be able to have a better understanding of what that is in the coming days. Judge did halt that order until February 3rd, so we have some time to determine that impact and necessary steps we need to take to not have disruption of service. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any matters too late for the agenda? Seeing none, I'm calling this meeting of the City Council to be adjourned.